Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to my weekly reading recap. Excuse the look, I just got back from the gym. It's still hot as hell outside, although less hot than it was last week. I think it's only a crisp 90 today, so almost needed a jacket, what can I say? But yeah, weekly reading recap. I got two awesome books to talk about today. Like candidates for number 1 and 2 best books I read this year. Definitely both in the top 5. I need to actually update my bookmark on this one because I'm doing the audio book of it for the most part, which I'll talk about a bit later. If I can find the page, there we go. But yeah, let's talk about the first book here. This one is, if you've been following along for just the past 2 weeks, it was the book I picked live. And by live, I mean on a video. I just picked it off my shelf for my next read because I was in a bit of a reading slump and I needed a slump buster. It is short in nature, but vast in its rich storytelling. Second best book I've read this year, I can confidently say that. Maybe the first best book, and that is Panenka by Ronan Hession. This book probably warrants its own video in and of itself, so see this as sort of like a Spark Notes review of it. Like I said, I just finished this morning, and I've been gathering my thoughts on it for the entire day. I don't even know where to begin with this book. Just the story itself isn't all that complexing if I were to just tell it to you, but the way in which the story is told is oh so good. The author just has such a way with words and describing the everyday things and feelings that people have. It's insane. Like some of the passages, like every single chapter, there's a paragraph or like a ending line in the chapter that's like you had to like put the book down and we're like, what did I just read? Like how did that even, like how do you come to write that? Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, this was one that I read yesterday and I've been thinking about all day, the past day or so, and this is talking about in terms of love between a daughter and a father relationship, and then relating it to just like the bigger love in her life with her husband, and then the father's love interest as well. And it reads, this is no spoilers, you don't need context for it, but alas. Says she went to the kitchen and made a sandwich for her dad for when he came in from wherever he was. Her mother had taught her about the value of an act of love every day and had lived it too. But Marie could do all the stuff and feel no pulse of love in it, purely the mechanics of making the other person happier because things were easier that way. And just like that part, the mechanics of making the other person happy because it was easier that way. I had never even considered that a thought when it comes to love and like the performative aspects of it. And in short, the story is a love story. It follows mainly one, but really 2 to 3 different love, I guess just relationships in general, all within various stages. Sorry, I just woke up my computer. That's why the lights are coming on. But yeah, it follows like obviously what the main story is about is this dude named Panenka. I guess that's his nickname. No spoilers though. And his search for just like meaning after a pretty traumatic event happened in his professional sporting career. He seems to be sort of, to quote Katy Perry here, a plastic bag floating through the wind for the better part of 25 years. And then he stumbles upon a lucky lady, and the kind of love that they share is very hard to explain. It isn't like lovers love or like even like friendship, love. It's like deeper than both of those combined. And that like rocked me out of my world, coming from reading the Throne of Glass series. Decent series as it is, but then reading like something like this, I was like, holy crap, like what even am I reading right now? This is awesome. So I don't even know where to begin with this book. Definitely, you have to read this book. It should be required reading, in my opinion. So good. Like I said, it follows a variety of different, not a variety, just two different or three different relationships. One in its blossoming stages, one on the downturn, and one that's sort of dead in the water. And the ways that the characters navigate those situations in their day-to-day lives and how they relate back to one another. Yeah, it's like I said, the story in and of itself isn't very complex, but the way the story is told and the way the passages are written, it is just so good. Like literally, you have to read this book. It's so short too. It's 164 pages or something. It took me 2 weeks to read it just because I was taking my time with it and savoring every page. So good. Panenka, give this one a read. Shout out Jack Edwards. He's the one that recommended it a while ago. So glad I finally got around to it. Next, the book I am reading, or should I say listening to, because I typically like to have a book that I'm reading physically and a book that I'm listening to for when I go on like long walks or something like that. And this is a book that I picked up last week. If you saw my bargain book haul, it was a part of that. And I started listening to it because I had no line for it within my Libby app. And that is American Sniper by Chris Kyle. This one is also amazing. I feel like I'm spoiled reading two fantastic books at once. This one is very good. I highly recommend the audiobook of it. The person who reads the audiobook is from Texas as well. Chris Kyle's from Texas, and so if you've watched interviews of Chris Kyle, he has a very heavy Texan accent, and having a fellow Texan read the book, I think just adds to that much more enjoyment. Unfortunately, Chris Kyle passed away, and so I don't think he wasn't able to narrate his own book, but like I said, the narrator in the one that I am listening to is doing a fantastic job. I'm about 75% of the way through it, and it is very, very good. Very detailed reference of basically everything he did in his 4 deployments of Iraq, and sort of the lead up that got him up until that point, and everything he does while he's overseas. It is sometimes hard to listen to, but also just like so fast paced. Like each like I shouldn't explain it by chapters, but they're like sub chapters within each one, and each sub chapter is anywhere from a page to 3 pages long, and it details a whole event that happens in Iraq and how he maneuvered his way through it. It is harrowing, to say the least. Definitely check this one out if you're a nonfiction fan. Even if you're not a nonfiction fan, give this one a read, or maybe even a listen to. So good. And then, like it says on the cover, it's now a major motion picture. It came out in 2014. I think I watched it when it came out. I didn't really remember a whole lot of it, so I rewatched the movie this past week, and the movie was all right. It wasn't great. It was definitely like a Hollywood action movie. A lot of stuff in it was like obviously dramatized. It didn't cover a whole lot of like what actually happens in the book. It wasn't really I would say it's loosely based off the book. There are some events that just don't happen in the book that happen in the movie just for cinematic reasons. And yeah, but the ending was certainly powerful, I'll say that. Yeah, watch the movie if you haven't, if you're into that sort of war, I don't know, documentary style of movies, and look up the trigger warning. Some of it can be a bit brutal. Yeah, there are a couple of brutal scenes in that show, so look them up beforehand if that so inclines you. But I'm loving this. I'll definitely finish it. I only have like 2 hours left of the audiobook, so should be able to finish it this week before I leave on vacation. And yeah, like, speaking of which, vacation, I'm leaving for vacation on Wednesday for the 4th of July holiday. We'll be gone for the weekend, and I need to pick some vacation books. Why don't we just do that now? Why quit the faffing around? Why don't I just pick the books I want to read on vacation now, like I did with Panenka? Clearly, that was such a hit, I should just do it again. So I think I'll be gone like Thursday through Sunday, so 4 days. I'm gonna bring 2 books, knowing that I'll probably only read one of them. So let me just pick 2 general nonfiction books too. I think I needed a break from, because what I was previously reading were like heavy classics. Before that, I read like Moby Dick, Crime and Punishment. This was a while ago, a couple months ago. I was reading Moby Dick, Crime and Punishment, Charles Dickens, and then I hopped into Throne of Glass, the romantasy series, and I have been liking general fiction. Obviously, Panenka was a score, so let's try to find some general fiction, self-contained stories, not a part of a series, but that are easy, vacation-y reads. Let's try to find 2 of them, and we'll take you guys along with it. Let's see. I always think thrillers are good for vacation, but the only thrillers I have are a part of a series. I have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden and The Housemaid's Secret, and then I have Blood Standard by Laird Barron, which is a 3-book series. I don't really want to do that right now. Let's see. Sort of gravitating towards this. Well, I'll pick the other one and then show you. Okay, so maybe forget what I said about easy vacation books. First book I picked up selected was High Fidelity by Nick Hornby. I've heard this is funny, and I like funny books, and I like being on vacation, so what better combination than that? So I'm tempted to bring this, but then you guys know I love my family dramas. And what better genre to read on a family vacation than a book about a family that's falling apart? So I'm instantly gravitated towards The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy. This was actually recommended by Nick Gubelli on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen his videos. He's pretty huge on the booktube space. And so I've had this book for a while. But I don't know, is it gonna be too like heavy to read on a vacation? It's also long. Looks like it's like over 600 pages, 660 pages, and the words are pretty small, pages are pretty big. So this could also be it. I'm conflicted. I don't really know. I don't know, maybe I'll bring both and just see. Maybe I have a feeling I may, if I could really get with this book, I could probably read this in a day. It's rather short. Yeah, like 250 pages. And I usually fly through funny books. So I'm just gonna bring both of them. This one, it says, brilliant, a funny and concise explanation of why we men are as we are. Okay, that's a sentence. If you are a male, you should read it and then make your partner read it so they will no longer hate you but pity you instead. That sells it pretty much for me, so awesome. Yeah, this will definitely be one I'll bring with me, and I'll probably bring The Prince of Tides as well. Let's just see what the back says. Oh, this is one of those copies that doesn't have a synopsis of what the book is about. But yeah, I've heard this is just like a sweeping family epic. Some of my favorite books are sweeping family epics. Think Shuggy Bane by, I forgot his name. By Douglas Stewart, that's his name. I knew it was gonna be Doug. I knew it was Douglas something, but I got confused with Us by David Nichols. The main character's name is Douglas. Shuggy Bane. I read those two books at the same time, at a similar time. So yeah, one of my favorite books from last year was Shuggy Bane. Incredible book, by the way. You should read that. And this one has similar vibes to it, so I have been told. So I will bring this book. And I'll also bring High Fidelity if this one gets a little too heavy. Then I can, I don't know, read a comedic book. So yeah. What else is going on? Well, I've been yapping for about 17 and a half minutes and have only read one book this week, so I guess that's going on. What else? Oh, the working out stuff is going pretty well. I'm still sticking with it. Down 23 pounds since April. Since the beginning of April. So yeah, so far so good. I know I got a long ways to go, but seeing the fruits of my labor nonetheless. I don't know, I'm enjoying it. I'm finding it to be an enjoyable process and not a downright miserable one like everyone seems to make it seem like. But yeah, there you go. That's about it. I have a little slip here of 2 videos I want to make. Spoilers. I'm going on vacation. I'm leaving Wednesday. So I will probably just have those videos scheduled. I need to make them. I'll probably make them tomorrow and schedule them for probably Wednesday and Friday. So don't quote me on that, but I'll be on the lookout for 2 more videos. And yeah, I will catch you guys at the next weekly reading update. Sorry, this has been like my brain's sort of been all over the place. I'm in a bit of a funk. I haven't eaten a whole lot today, so I need to go on and do that. I'm gonna make myself a wrap, have some fruit, have some chips, have a cheese stick maybe. I love cheese sticks, but we have lost the plot officially. Appreciate you watching up until this point. If you have, I doubt anyone has, but I appreciate you regardless. Consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed already. We're like well past 500 subscribers, which is insane. Last week we had just hit it. Now I'm at 510 or something ridiculous. Let's keep this going. Give it a like if you liked it. Like I said, thanks for sticking with me, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out, guys.